Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, how are you? I hope you are always doing good. I'm Nadya Resti Verawaty. Today I would like to present an interesting topic. The aim of this presentation is about teaching English for young learners. My talk will be in 4 parts. First, the concept of teaching English. After that, the characteristics of young learners. Third, the problem of teaching young learners. And finally, the ways of teaching English for young learners. Now, let's look at the first, the concept of teaching English. First point related to concept teaching English is speaking. Teaching speaking can be familiarized with conversation using English. I believe that daily conversation is very helpful for young students to build their confidence and improve the speaking skills, especially the ability to pronounce each word correctly and have conversation with the correct intonation. The teachers use English in class, or the teachers can use both Indonesian or English apart from everyday conversation. The second point is listening. By listening to music, we'll sharpen their hearing of the words that are pronounced. Singing songs is usually young learners' favorite activity as it can bring an enjoyable atmosphere in the classroom and their mind, and also improve young learners' pronunciation. Besides learning through music, we can also provide audio listening to them. They will be curious about what is being said in the audio, so they must prepare a strategy so that they can hear clearly. Audio listening, turning vocab, grammar, and dialogues into catchy tunes is a fabulous method for teaching English to young learners. The third point is reading. Reading is also a concept of teaching English, like reading a book or a newspaper. By reading indirectly, we will find words that are still strange for us. We can highlight, underline, or make circle for the vocabularies we haven't known to recall snippets of information. And the fourth is writing. Writing can help young learners to remember vocabularies because when we write, we know how to write the word. What are the letters that make up the word? So, so that we can memorize each letter and reduce the causes of typos. Now, I would like to turn to the second. It is about the characteristics of young learners. The first characteristic is for the characteristics of learners in elementary school. At elementary school, usually their curiosity is still very high. Make them ask a lot of questions about anything that is found or studied, about why and what. They like to make sense of the word around them through engaging and motivating activities where they have to discover by themselves rather than being told. This also makes them more enthusiastic in joining the class. They also get bored easily. If the activities are not interesting and engaging enough, young learners get bored easily. This is because they have limited attention span, and generally after 10 minutes they can get disinterested in the activity and hand the activity at hand, especially if it taught directly and this is devoid of the elements of play. They are more um, they are more interesting. And then the second, the characteristic of learners in middle school. At middle school, they need more support, guidance, and calm direction because they usually in this part they usually start to find a little difficult to follow the lessons. So they need a lot of support from their parents and the surrounding environment. From their parents and they also need direction. When someone wants to give direction to them, it must be done slowly so they can feel calmer. In addition, they also need approval from others. Why? Because it can be a motivation for them to study harder, and they are happy if their work is appreciated. And the last, the characteristic of learners in high school. At high school, they need opportunities um, to express themselves. This is because they think more critically, so they prefer to discuss or argue. It expresses themselves and their abilities. However, sometimes they also feel less confident. It happens when they fail to get satisfactory results in exams or fail to win at the Olympics. They will think that they are not as good as others and they become embraced, also lack of confidence. Then I would like to return to the third um, discussion. It's about the problem of teaching young learners. The first problem is students' discipline. They are easier to get distraction. This can be caused by the large number of students in a class. Sometimes they are too busy chatting um, instead of paying attention to the teacher. They busy chatting with their friends or um, their tablemate. In addition to easily wait, getting distracted, they sometimes also refuse to participate in doing exam. This is caused because the lack of language required to respond or do the task and lack of interested lack of interest or engagement in the topic. Those problems are the causes that make students undisciplined. And the second is students' English ability. Having students who have different English ability in a classroom is another problem faced by the teachers. Moreover, English is used as a daily language, and all students have to speak English all time at school. When students do not have good English ability, they will be less confident and prefer to have a little communication with their friends or even keep silent. And now let's look at the ways of teaching young learners. First is breaking up solitary study sessions with games. Games are fun activities that give young learners chance to practice English. One of the ways to make students actively participate in classroom is playing games. It can make students interest and motivation in participating in the lesson. Giving students a chance to communicate meaningfully and making students feel less anxious as they play games with only some of other friends. The next is improve speaking by storytelling. So, speaking can also be taught through storytelling. There are some reasons that can be highlighted for using storytelling to teach young learners. First, helping children master the rhythm and sound of language. Second, helping children master the vocabulary and grammar of the language. Third, helping children practice listening, speaking, reading, and writing skills. Fourth, helping children learn about the world through picture books. Five, helping develop children's imagination. And last, helping children deal with their feelings so they can accept their own feelings and understand to people's feelings. And the last, about the way of teaching English for young learner for young learners, it is um, children learn through experiences and social interaction. It is important that the English teachers use media in delivering the materials in order that the students are able to understand easily. Social interaction can be started from a daily conversation in the class. So it means that the teacher should use English in the classroom naturally and also for the students. So here, um, in conclusion, teaching must have its own concept. In teaching English, we have several concepts um, uh, like reading, writing, listening, and speaking, and they all have their own techniques. In teaching, we must understand the various characteristics of children according to their school level and the characteristic of the children themselves. In teaching, also certainly has some problems faced by the teacher, but we also still have various ways to create a pleasant situation for young learners. So everyone, that's all from me. I hope this will be useful for everyone and also for me too. Thank you for the attention. See you and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.